again.
All right, so we're gonna get the word out.
Yeah.
B-Stabs, you can.
We had someone message us on Hogshaven Facebook being like, "You going live tonight?"
Yeah, we're going live. We're going live right now.
You're
Actually,
directing them
we
over here?
are live, and we're about to record live. We're talking about one here. Here it goes. Here we go.
Hey, everybody.
Good evening, and welcome to First Amendment Sports Basement Podcast Studios. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
I actually feel like the state of the Redskins right now. I feel awful. I'm ailing. But life is actually good at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't look good. I don't feel good, but life is still good.
But you're winning.
But
You're
I'm
leading the
winning.
division.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still
He's
winning.
Kevin Ricca.
Hey, I feel great. We haven't been 6-3 since my 8-year-old son's been alive in week 10, and that means something around my house.
Brian Stabby, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Glad to be back. I don't really know how to feel. I feel good, but it feels weird to feel good sometimes.
See, and that's so sad.
It feels weird.
It's
feel
so
good
sad.
sometimes.
for
We
our
don't know
younger
how to
generation
act.
That doesn't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
They don't
I don't
know.
know.
They don't
This
know.
is his
They
favorite
don't know.
song, so he ain't lying.
Welcome to all the folks on YouTube who are joining us tonight, our subscribers on our First Amendment Sports YouTube channel. This is our first episode of the Audible, old school, the Audible, and our Redskins coverage for hogshaven.com, for which I'm managing editor. We have a couple other Hogshaven voices. So you might not find us on Night 1 Live, but you will see us. When this is where we will be next week, talking about the Redskins, talking about the greatest show on TV, which we believe is Redskins football. Please, if you're watching this on a link, do us a favor. Go to youtube.com, type in those words, First Amendment Sports. It's an easy and free subscription, and you will be notified whenever we go live.
No credit card numbers, no
credit card
tomfoolery.
numbers, no nothing.
Just
no
subscribe.
We'll
and
take
click.
those credit card numbers if you want to give it to us, but we're not going to ask.
Are you able to get the word
don't
out
even know if
to?
we know what
Because
to
I'm
do.
worried. Oh, is James? I want to know who the first person to migrate from Facebook to YouTube. If you can give us who it is,
I can tell you. Do
tell us.
you want to guess?
I want to say James.
It's not James.
Keegan.
It's not Keegan.
Andrew
Humphreys.
I mean, just
Nasta.
someone ask me.
Nasta.
Someone ask me.
My
I know
apologies,
exactly who it
Andrew.
is.
Nasta from
Should have known that.
from
I mean,
Kensington, Maryland.
how did you guys go 0-2 on that? I have to come in and save the day before we
know.
struck out.
Well, because I was thinking about people who knew what our plans were, and I don't know.
Andrew Griffith Humphreys
I
knows
know,
everything.
He knows. He does. He knows. Nasta. We are
Salute.
celebrating
To you, sir.
a Victory Tuesday, as we like to call it. Washington Redskins won 16-3 on the road, where they have been
Happy Gula Tuesday.
pretty good. Took down Fitzmagic, a 500-yard Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that literally did every single thing except score points, but what they didn't. And a first place in the NFC East, 6-3 Washington Redskins team that people want to take or quibble with the phrase control their destiny. That's what we would say. They control their destiny.
They do.
I love the discussion. There was a whole thing on one of the comment sections about fate and destiny, and it was pretty deep. At the end of the day, Redskins win. They control their own destiny in the playoffs, and they earn the right, in my humble opinion, to make this Texans game somewhat of a referendum, Kevin, on playoff worthiness.
Hell yeah, it is. Now, whichever way it goes, this is the bar. We have to find out who are we? Who are we? And when you got a high level passing attack coming to town, yeah, that's cause for some worry. We've had some issues with that. We're not just going to get the ball and take it from everyone after 500 yards of offense week in, week out. But you know what?
You have to watch that.
We might not. Oh no, that was. Yeah, you might.
Oh
You
my
might- you might
gosh,
have to
that
watch
was
that.
a big time foul by
I
me.
apologize. I didn't know that was one of your finer garments.
I rescued it. I heard scream. There was like a screaming sound coming from like throughout the entire night so far. I'm like, what is that?
I'm glad
sound?
everyone's so happy about this too.
Never heard of a sweater scream before. 6-3 Houston Texans. People want to call them a good team. They've been playing well. They have good players, but keep in mind they lost to the New York Giants. So if you're gonna have
unacceptable.
Yeah, if you're going to take issue with the Washington Redskins
but-
schedule, let's just take it a little bit, pump the brakes a little bit on the Houston Texans
The
love.
Giants only won.
Yeah,
That's
I know, but here's the
second
deal: they're dangerous coming off a bye week, getting Demaryius Thomas, a little offensive practice, a little time with Deshaun Watson. They've won 6 in a row, and granted, it's against the Colts, Cowboys, Bills, Jags, Dolphins, and Broncos. 4 of those 6 games are within a touchdown. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're not just beating everyone down. And you know what? This game is on our home turf. No matter what everyone says about our home turf these days, the true fans know what that means. Whatever. We can get into that all night long. But talking about the Houston Texans coming to town with a high-level passing attack, that's a little bit nerve-wracking.
I want to take the opening that you gave me, Kevin, and I want to speak up for some people, not necessarily.
Sure.
This is when T gets
Do
nervous.
not speak for me.
This is when I only speak exclusively for Tim Strachan and
sometimes
Ken
agree with you.
Marangola.
But I need to know after
I
the
take a
fact.
huge issue with what Josh Norman said after the game about
You
the way that he called out fans, the way he talked about fans on the road versus FedEx Field, and all this other business. Because at its core, to me, it does not come close to addressing what him, as a very smart man, knows the issue to be. If he has a problem, he can go up to the owner's suite with a little man in glasses who has made all the most terrible decisions that have had all of the impact on the home field experience. Because I went to games when the Redskins sucked out loud and it was sold out and we cheered our guts out, and that was taken from me and so many of us by Dan Snyder. So Josh Norman, all respect to you, all respect to your game, but shut the F up when it comes to the people who love this team. That was disrespectful. When Josh Norman's gone, I'm still going to be here. When Josh Norman's gone, all the people that love the Redskins are still going to be here. This team is our team, and I have a huge problem taking it from him when he knows, because I know he's a smart man, when he knows who the person he should be bitching at is, and it's the guy in the owner's suite. It's not the guy in section 425.
I agree with absolutely everything you just said. I have nothing against anything you said, but I'm going to say this: when you're out there with the emotion that he plays with, and he's feeling it differently at a place like Tampa Bay, and yes, he does know the problem and where it lies, and I get it, but I think he's trying to convince some of the guys like me who maybe have had season tickets for 15 years, his whole entire life, and then stopped doing it, and have sat there and then not gone because of Dan Snyder. I feel his pain because Dan Snyder does not make it comfortable for us, and it can't be comfortable for them playing in their own backyard, not feeling it the way they felt it down in Tampa Bay. It's got to suck for Josh Norman, and you're right, he went to the wrong place with it. Don't come at us. I agree. Yeah. Come at him. But the fact of the matter is he's trying to kind of, I think, rile us up a tad bit. DJ jumped in on it too. I mean, listen, he's the captain of our defense. He's one of the most. He might be the leader of the team, and I get it. But when someone schools them up a little bit, and someone takes them to class about what we've done and what we haven't done, and who we are as a fan base and why it is this way, it has nothing to do with the diehards. It has everything to do with the little guy with the little pants on.
And
Those are little pants, by the way.
I love watching a game in Tampa Bay where I can hear the Redskins fans, and I love it.
Me too.
And I love it even more because I am the guy at FedEx who has to listen to it.
But you get the frustration, though, right?
Yeah, I get the. Oh, I get. No, I share the frustration. That's why.
That's true.
I think it's mine and Josh Norman's frustration together. That's why I didn't like.
And Josh needs to learn that. And Josh needs to learn that.
Yeah,
I've never seen Ken actually that mad.
It's fair.
Fired up.
It's
fair.
I think you guys are agreeing more than
I get it.
No, we are. I am. I'm agreeing with everything. Yeah. I'm just feeling Josh Norman's
I don't
pain.
think Josh
when
Norman
Josh Norman's out on the field there and DJ Swearinger and the emotion they play with, they want a little something,
Josh
right?
Norman's not calling Ken out and the other Kens or the other thousands of Kens that are at a game. I think he's calling out.
Well, that was
Kevin
his mistake. That was his mistake.
I don't go to games,
mistake.
period.
Yeah.
Never really have. I mean, I did, a little bit once in a while. Sunday's a family day for me. That's what I decided to do.
But that's
what I love. But I love watching them on TV. But I get where you're coming from.
How about
I
the
kinda
tip of the
get where
helmet
he's coming
to the
from.
guys that tailgate every week and have been
Sure.
here long before him and will be here long before after he's gone. I get
think
that.
The thing the operative piece of his comment that stood out for me was he said, it's great when we hear fans. We like when we go on the road and hear fans, we don't feel like we have the home field advantage that other teams have. And I don't think he's wrong. You, in your very first six-pack of the year, spent a lot of pixels talking about how it was different. This is a different
The stadium
atmosphere.
experience,
Yeah,
absolutely,
but like not in a good way. And
not in a good way.
You said basically what he said though.
But the issue is he went after the wrong.
Generalized it too much.
Went after the wrong group. The problem is Dan Snyder, and what Josh Norman and I have a problem with is Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder is what has
Dan
made it
Snyder
happen.
signs his paychecks. He can't really go.
Well, because there are still stadiums in the league, and it's cool, and it's Cleveland, and it's Kansas City, and it's Green Bay, it's Pittsburgh, it's Buffalo. There's still places where,
And those are great franchises, but yes, it's dwindling at other places.
yeah,
as
you
well.
can actually go to a place. When I you know, God forgive me, I love watching the Cleveland Browns play because you know how I feel about Baker Mayfield. I watch every Cleveland Browns game, and you know what happens when they score at home? It's deafening. I can't, because I know who those people are.
You do have to build an experience
Yeah.
that is left with people needing tickets.
And he has that chance.
He does have that chance.
I don't know if you guys saw what Smoot said. Did you guys see that this week?
He said a lot. He said a lot. The
Well, he
mouth of his
basically
mouth.
said that
Lots.
he put some stuff out about. He's like, I feel bad. I feel like it was our era of Redskins that made it the way it is right now. Like people still had their hopes up
No.
when we were here, and we weren't. And I was like very surprised to hear a guy come out and say something like that.
Well, that's the kind of
That's
player.
taking
that-
one for the team.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
exactly what that is. It's taking one for the team. It's personalizing something that we all know is not his fault. I've said it as simply as I can say it. Dan Snyder bought the team and he monetized the loyalty and passion, and he did it like a surgeon, and he did it over time. We're 20 years down the road, and there's that well and that mine is starting to go a little bit dry in the sense of where Dan Snyder's mined traditionally. But that's what it was. I mean, Fred Smoot's teams may not have been great, but we still loved our Fred Smoots, and we still
Oh, yeah.
showed up and wore our Fred Smoot jerseys and cheered
Yeah.
for our Fred Smoots in losses, and that was still fun. It was still fun, and it was not players like Fred Smoot, and it was their teams that lost the something about the stadium experience, not their fault.
I've just
at all.
never heard a player come out and say something like that. That's
the kind of guy he is.
Several years in
Yeah, that's
retirement.
true.
I've never heard that before.
But how many of us have disassociated our owner with our love of the franchise and the football team on the field on Sunday?
Because we were fans before he was the owner.
And we
As
will
he
be.
said we'll be fans after he's the owner.
Yep.
I hope
He's a
that's
We all
steward.
think it's
See, I hope
sooner
that's
rather
The
than
true.
later.
steward. The steward.
I hope that's true.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Problem is, he's missed a whole generation of guys like Stabby's age or younger.
Yeah, but he claimed he was one of us growing up.
Claimed he was one of
He
us.
claimed
And
it.
I claim that he was a fan of a different team.
I don't think
he caught too
anyone-
many wedgies in junior high school, and this is his ultimate plan. I watched
worked
too many
well.
cartoons.
I don't think
when I was
anyone
young.
denies he's a fan of the team. He wants the team to do well, but I think his
He
priorities
once-
are out of whack.
He once did an interview, and it was probably the only thing I actually
You don't know how to treat
thought
people.
was
no, absolutely.
made sense. Is he said, "Look, I want this team to be as good, more than anybody. Why wouldn't?" This was back when he was on his spending spree and stuff, or at least maybe trying to learn from it. I got that from him. I understood that from him, but it doesn't excuse
He's not cheap.
bad management.
Why am I
bad
defending Dan
decisions
Snyder?
and
No,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
no.
Bad
When
business.
you see in cartoons and the starving guy on the deserted island sees his buddy as a turkey,
Yeah.
or
That's
that-
what we were. We
he
were big,
sees
juicy, buttered turkeys.
big juicy dollar signs to Dan Snyder.
And
oh,
we were.
each one of us.
Ripe
if I
for
can
the
get
picking.
$40 for parking from that big juicy turkey, and bring him into a stadium with nothing.
And
to
the worst
offer.
part was when he first came in and he first started doing what he did. I loved him for it. God help me, I loved him for it.
You know,
I would
I
have
gave
wanted.
him a pass. He tried.
I would have worn a Dan Snyder jersey at one point. I hate that about myself because I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I was the Dan Snyder apologist for so long. Of course, I was there there all the time and seeing it and loving it. But yeah, no, he monetized our loyalty and he did it well.
Well
And
said. And he had the Redskins tattoo on one butt cheek and a Jerry Jones tattoo on the other, because that's who
Yep.
he wanted to be so badly.
I hope that you guys are.
Why you
your
got
hopes
me
are
got
right.
images of his butt cheeks? I mean, that's
Yeah, that's-
definitely not what I thought.
Because I
was
love making you feel uncomfortable
in
about
store for tonight's
other men's butt
show.
cheeks.
It
Sorry.
definitely was not a part
Yeah,
of
it wasn't.
pre-production discussion.
No.
See, how do we beat
Why
Houston?
do I want to do that?
How do we beat Houston? Besides,
How do we beat Houston?
And leave butt cheeks
this
out
is
of
how
it.
they're going to be. The Redskins are who we think they are.
On
They
defense.
are a defensive team right now that is playing extremely well and hopefully on a consistent basis, because when they're not, then they're in trouble because they don't have an offense right now that's going to score enough points to outscore anybody. Okay?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You know, and it's not because
Hold on, we
Alex
just
Smith
outscored
was,
Tampa's offense.
but it wasn't about
The number one offense.
But it's not about Alex Smith was a bad decision or any of that. It takes a long time for an offense to gel and come together, and they just haven't had that with injuries and
The
everything
cavalry's
that's going
coming
on.
to a point.
I mean, are you kidding
I'm not
me?
saying the cavalry's coming to make us be a dynamic offense.
Trent's
What's
coming back.
indicative of this team?
Trent,
Getting Trent back is a huge
Chris
thing.
Thompson, who we thought might be out for the season at one point last week.
Yep.
But what is
Trey Quinn, Jamison Crowder. There's guys. If we
There-
can hang
there's
in there,
coming.
if
That's
we can
right.
hang in there, there's guys that can make us respectable.
They're meaningful additions. They're not just warm bodies.
Impactful players.
Yes.
Impactful players on
What
an
is
offensive
indicative
game.
of this team, in my opinion, if you really want to go back to this past week's game, it was the Ryan Anderson play.
The
Punching
punch
the ball
out. Hell yes.
It was
that was-
plays like
I
that.
was
The
so
Greg
happy.
Stroman
It's plays like that that
interception.
we,
So happy.
as Redskins fans, or at least this is how I feel as a Redskins fan, I'm expecting that play. I think there was a play either right before it or two before it where I thought somebody was going to punch it out, and then it happened like I said
Yeah.
when Ryan did it. That's what we expect as fans right now out of this team. That's who they are. That's how they're going to beat the Texans. That's how they're going to probably beat anybody.
You know what we expected out of Josh Norman? Interceptions like he had.
Yep.
An amazing
Full
catch.
extension. Like he seems to have dropped some easy ones over time. I'm not getting on him about it.
Oh, man.
But that was
was
what
nuts.
I dreamed about
Well, if
when we
DBs
made
had
that
hands, they'd be
signing.
wide
You
receivers.
could
True.
make an amazing poster because you had the full extension.
That was a
with the
wide
ball.
receiver. You know what?
That's gonna be a great
that
poster.
was a DeAndre Hopkins type
It was,
of catch.
and I think that you'll see the Redskins get criticized for giving up 500 yards, and the Buccaneers seemingly kind of imploding and giving it away. But the Redskins made plays on defense. The Stroman interception, like you said, the Anderson punch out, the Norman interception. We got to the quarterback and got the sack.
We apologize for
We
nothing.
apologize for nothing. We absolutely
defense-
played.
Deshaun
well on
Watson
defense.
is
So-
going to be a whole other bag of
That's
tricks.
the other thing that I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers matchup helped us out with
Is he
because
better or worse than Cam Newton
he's better
right now?
He's better.
I think.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, he's got
Apples and oranges.
He's got talent, but
If I had to
mean,
pick one,
I'm taking Deshaun.
Cam Newton's been to a Super Bowl.
I'm taking
yeah, I
Deshaun.
You know
think
what I'm saying?
I think
I mean, he's
got
today
special skills.
to start a team, if it's A or B, I think I take Deshaun. It'll be interesting. I think on the outside, Clinton Dix sort of getting more in the mix. They lost Will Fuller, and then they brought in Emmanuel Sanders,
Demaryius
Thomas. My mistake. But I think those matchups on the outside for
You're going to be able to pass the ball. Deshaun Watson, to your question, if the film that he's put down
He was-
last year and this
that was
year,
in the mix.
It's amazing. What if you look at it, you would love it if you actually watch his film. The things that he's done are already next level stuff. He can throw it on the run. He's a mobile quarterback. He can beat you, but he's also smart. He's not the physical quarterback that takes the unnecessary hit. In fact, he doesn't take a lot of them.
But
He
to a
has
point-
taken them,
But to a
but he
point
doesn't.
that
He
Kevin
lo-
talked
he lost
about,
to
he
Eli.
has not seen
Yeah.
a defense like this yet.
No.
He has not seen a defense like this.
Because our guys, the most excruciating thing for Redskins fans, I think the searing image is of Brian Orakpo or Ryan Kerrigan running that outside, arm extended, looks like he's getting held by the guy with the clothesline, but it's never ever called because it's not actually a hold.
not once.
And for 7 years,
Yeah.
this defensive line is getting to the quarterback and making the play. They're getting hands on quarterbacks. We haven't seen
Running
yet.
backs aren't
the
getting
game
the
breaking.
yardage. They're becoming one-dimensional. You can start
Yep.
teeing off, and that's when you start getting the turnovers.
Yep.
That just doesn't happen. That's not
No.
like happenstance or they're lucky.
Hey,
They're creating them.
Obviously, the deal for us is scoring first because in the history of the NFL, guys, I just need like 10 seconds.
I love this stat, by the
'Cause
way.
this is, it's
Well,
just,
the Redskins are
it's crazy to me.
100%.
And after 9 games in the history of the NFL, the last team to never have a lead change occur, whether winning or losing, was the 1954 Redskins.
Nice.
Guys,
That's
You really went
sick.
back to the vault on that
well,
one.
you know who played on the 1954 Redskins was
Your grandpa.
Big
Jim Ricka.
Jim Ricka.
And I know, I'm not trying
his
to be a
granddaddy.
homer here, but this stat tickled me. So I went back to think maybe my grandfather had something to do with this at some level.
All right, here we
As
go.
a middle guard, he did not. but hold on, it was week 10 when they played the Eagles and they had a 41-33 and it went back and forth. So a lead change occurred against the Eagles. But in week 12, Big Jim had a scoop and score from 24 yards,
Nice.
25 yards out.
Go.
And I was like, my
Nice.
grandfather picked up a fumble and ran it back 25 yards for the Redskins.
Against.
I
thought you were gonna say the Eagles, but it wasn't the Eagles.
No. It was the it was either Cleveland or
Green Bay.
no. It was the there was a team that doesn't exist anymore. All I know, it was his.
Camp Winnipesaukee?
It was his last game for the Redskins
Oh,
in
wow.
1954. In his last game, he
Get
got his
outta
only
here.
NFL touchdown for the Washington Redskins, and I freaked out. I was like, the 54 Redskins are the last team. This is why this is so cool. I'm sitting around with you guys hanging out here. I never would have known that in a million years if you never called me up 3 years ago and Teed brought me over here. How would I have gone through
the
that?
Chicago Cardinals.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
I knew it was
Stabby.
Cleveland
I
and
just looked it
Chicago.
up. I Googled
You're
it.
a
Well,
good
that-
man.
Hey,
Yes.
But that stat tickled me, and I appreciate you guys letting me talk about it.
Can we bring in a YouTube commenter for the first time in our history of YouTube? Can you give us something, Stabby?
You know.
That is great, though.
Anything.
Yeah, that's all.
all.
That's pretty awesome, Kevin. I mean, that's again, that just goes to show why we do this.
Thanks, man. I was so
You know,
happy to talk about
uh,
that tonight. I'm not doing any more stats. That one got me, and I was
That's
I
the
was
stat of the
tickled.
day.
So we have actually another contender for stat of the day. It's not as
Nice.
good as yours.
No. Mine is personal.
From?
This is business.
From Addison.
Thank you, Addison,
Nice.
for joining us this evening. What do you
Addison, who messaged us on Facebook and then
got?
followed
Okay.
up on.
Thank
on-
you for following us over to
we go.
YouTube. We
Hell
appreciate it.
yeah.
It's already
Finding us.
working.
And letting people know.
Subscribe.
Finding us.
Addison caused my wife
Free
to text.
subscription.
Addison caused my wife to text me and say someone's worried that you're not going live. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
We're not in the business of fact checking, and I'm not going to put you on the spot for knowing or not knowing. But apparently, according to Addison, if we win on Sunday and move to 7-3, it's the first time, he says, since like '96 that we've done that.
7-3.
7-3.
2008, we were 6-3 is the
Yeah.
last I
Right.
heard. So I
So
did not.
7
I did not
we
go
didn't look at
forward the way Addison did to figure out 7-3.
Yeah, well, I saw a lot of games in the mid '90s after
Right.
Joe Gibbs left town, after Richie Pettibone left town. It wouldn't shock me to learn that we weren't 7-3 in some of those seasons.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say maybe even '92. We finished. We won the division in '99, but I don't think we were ever 7-3. That was Brad Johnson's year. '96. That would have been Big Daddy Wilkinson and Stubblefield potentially. That was the one
No,
year.
they were a little later.
They were later than that. Okay, fair enough. That was the Sean Gilbert time frame. One
Yeah,
of the
those
who
two,
I was reading
those two
about
have gotten
today.
their
Yeah,
quota
the
for
Lord
mentions
told 'em.
in the
Yeah.
month
Of
November.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, exactly.
No,
The only guy that
no.
got his deal after sitting out.
Yeah.
Sean Gilbert did get his
Sean
deal.
Gilbert absolutely got his deal, and the Redskins made out like bandits. We
Yeah.
got the multiple
Yeah.
first round
Yep.
picks out of the Sean Gilbert thing.
And, you know.
Thank you, Addison. 7-3 would be great. '96 was a good year. Man, there was some really good.
I had a lot of
West
fun
Coast.
that year.
7-3 and finished 9-7.
Was that juicy? Was juicy '96?
That's what he said.
Ah.
We need to do
Juicy.
a fact check.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll tell you right now. Doggy Style was probably what 92, 93.
No, 93, 94. 93.
94. Okay.
We rocked 94. It was our graduating
The
year.
Chronic 93, 94, 94,
Yeah.
95.
Yeah.
And I think Midnight Marauders was 91, 92, but I think Low End Theory was closer to. Okay, we'll put it all together. Either way, 96, very, very good. Very,
Next
very
week,
good.
96 playlist.
96 playlist. If we
Got
win.
it.
If we win.
Got it.
When we win. How about that?
Oh, we didn't tee up the go Hail to the Redskins.
we're
should've done
we're bringing it back.
You got to do that after a home game.
Let's go out on
There you go.
talking about the
7-3.
Washington Redskins with a chance at 7-3.
Actually started 7-1, and then we're 7-3, and then
That was 96?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Addison fact check. We do. You said we don't have a fact checking department, but apparently we do.
Yeah, I just checked.
Oh, we outsource loving fans. That's how we roll in the basement.
At 6-3, the Washington Redskins have already, in my opinion, punted opportunities before now to meaningfully enter postseason chances conversation. You know, you think you're going to make it to the playoffs, and you don't know who you're going to play, but you might get matched up with somebody that you do well against. You might not.
The
Wa-
Vikings.
Yeah, you know who it would be today?
Yes, I do. But you go ahead and say it.
The Vikings.
Correct. And by the way, just so anyone is wondering, that is 100% happening.
Yes,
if you
it
think
is.
in any way, shape, or form, on any universe, no matter which way you played it out, a bazillion different ways, you spin the Rubik's Cube and close your eyes and look at the other direction. Guess what happens every single time? Kirk Cousins and Alex Smith play each other in the first round of the NFC playoffs. For sure.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to happen. We're going to split with the Eagles. We split the Jacksonville, Tennessee 2 games. We split with Texas and Dallas, and we beat the Giants. We're 10-6, and we got the Eagles.
We're playing the Vikings. Just understand
that's my formula
happening.
for Kirk to come back.
It's going to be a wild
Sorry, Andrew Griffin Humphreys. But that's going to happen, and when it does, we won't talk about it until it does. But you're right; it's what happens.
There's no way in hell it doesn't. I'm sorry, but bet on if you're. I know we got some plenty of gamblers out there. I'm telling you, do yourselves a favor. Be on the front side of this one. There's no other possible outcome.
That would be a new experience, I think, for a lot of. I mean, even before my time at Redskins,
guess where
guys who
guess where Kirk Cousins is playing that game.
Wanted to beat. You know?
Sure.
Guess where Kirk Cousins is playing that game.
Other teams.
Can you think? Can you think about another? Like,
Nope.
when did we ever lose a guy and then be like, all right, we got to get that guy. We gotta get him in the playoffs.
I think just thinking about Brad Johnson and Rich Gannon playing in a Super Bowl is the last time I can remember that. But it wasn't
for
against
the
one of us.
Redskins.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I should have had that thought and was thinking about putting it in the 6-pack.
Save it for when it happens.
Oh no! We don't even have to worry about it. I mean, it doesn't even deserve to be talked about anymore because it's going to happen. Yeah. Just forget about it. It's going to be this for the next
and we
few
are
weeks.
going to get a playoff dub, and we're going to go bonkers in the basement. I'm just circle it.
Okay, so that's happening.
Be a Saturday and a Sunday coming near you in the next 6 weeks.
The fact that people think it's not going to happen is what really bothers me and concerns me. Like, people are this closed off to reality. They don't understand how the world works. The Redskins and the Vikings are playing each other.
You don't think Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen are like...
Oh, it's happening. It is so happening. But the Redskins lost... When the Redskins lost to the Atlanta Falcons, to me, they lost a little bit of footing in just the debate, of NFC playoff worthiness.
Every win from here on out gets them more and more in the debate. It's not rocket science. But I don't think they're being taken seriously quite yet.
But in rolling periods of time, where you stand, where are you at in the landscape of the league? I think the loss to the Atlanta Falcons knocked us down a peg, and quite frankly, I don't think the win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is boosting us up a lot of people's boards. Whereas again, now we come back home to play the Houston Texans, and I think this game
this week does a lot.
If we win this game, I think that the perspective of what the Washington Redskins are all about,
they have to
changes a little bit
at that point. No, you have to be. You have to be, and hopefully you start getting some guys back. Cooley was saying apparently today that Trey Quinn and Cam Sims even might be coming back soon. They could possibly be starting for this team. There's got to be something on the offense that's got to happen at some point if they want to make a run at a playoff. They've got to get better on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, their defense is playing stellar, and the offense is doing what they have to do.
And what better time for all of this to start?
Something's got to happen.
When it's time to get hot, when it gets cold,
against
when
the
it's
division,
time to click. And we've set ourselves up in this division. Our division wins and our conference wins right now. We got some tiebreaker proof stuff going down.
We have 6 wins. The Saints and the Rams, which aren't even in the same conversation as us.
True.
We have the most conference wins of anybody right now besides them, and the sneaky part of our offense, T, when you talk about some things that have to start happening, I think we would all agree they're not happening yet. But if you look at the little things that are trending positive, and I'm going to point out the things that are trending positive because everyone knows the things that are trending negative.
There's a lot trending positive.
Maurice Harris and Josh Jackson, I think, caught 9 out of 9 targets.
Better each week.
With a touchdown.
Each one is better each week.
And Alex Smith's comfort level, because Maurice Harris now is all of a sudden not just a guy who's you need to suit up and get a warm body in and run routes. Alex Smith trusts him.
That third down route he threw, which I'm not sure what route that was. It was like a cross-field button hook with
Kinda
two
like
guys.
a Y banana.
I'll be honest, I've never seen two
Lonesome
guys
Coleman.
run that
Maybe a
route
mushy
together
banana.
for that long. I'm not certain I've ever seen that go across. And then the ball was thrown before he trusted Maurice Harris in that scenario. That was a huge play in the
Doxson
game.
more.
And Doxson is
Part
giving
of
it
the
back to him.
loss
And
that they had to the Falcons, I think, forced Alex to start going downfield a little bit more. And having done that in a game action, I think he's starting to do it a little bit more.
Building blocks with Doxson, and he is
Inch
putting
by
them on
inch. It's
top.
not as much as everybody would want right
some
now.
Some
It's
kids walk
happening
when
a
they're 10
little
months
bit.
old. Some wait till they're 15. And I think we're definitely on the 15-month end of Doxson. But you know what? He's putting the blocks up. And that red zone catch, I thought for sure. Didn't you guys just sit there and go like, oh, he either stepped out or he juggled it? And all of a sudden, they were like, the touchdown has been confirmed. And I let out. I was like, it was built up.
The announcer seemed very sure.
Everyone.
Yes.
And then when it happened, oh, the eruption.
I was sure.
Josh Doxson on a 3rd and goal came up with a touchdown on a bit of an off-schedule play.
See, young man, you've done it.
Hey, man.
You can do this.
Stay alive. Right? Be the big guy.
I swear to God, I wrote him off
late
3 weeks ago.
Hey.
I said, fuck him. I just get out.
Yep.
Whoa.
Stop.
And
I did. I did 3 weeks ago. I was done with him.
And 4 catches
and all of a
for
sudden, since then, each game
28 yards.
I don't think it was going to
argue.
I'm
not taking credit for
any
it,
of those statements,
but I think
Steve.
that did happen.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what? Forget it.
Yep.
You're done.
CeeLo.
And then now he's starting to make a play.
I would love to see
now
him
he's made 2 plays.
String
now
2
he's
games
made
in a
3
row.
plays.
He's got 3 now, Stabby. 3 games in a row.
I'm with you, man. I felt
the
that
manner
anxiety
in which
about
he's
him.
connecting with Alex Smith.
He's getting targets.
Consistent.
He just got to get
And
rid of those
he's
big
getting
ass ear
targets.
pads. It's really distracting.
People are
I feel
commenting on about that.
Well, he looks like
the
he
earmuffs.
looks like the mom. Like the mom went out and got him the neck brace and the arm pads and
I think his Under Armour gloves connect all the way
shield,
through his jersey.
You know,
they on a string
to
all
his
the
socks.
way. Yeah, to his socks, and his
The
name.
cup.
His name is
really
on
weird
everything.
about it.
The
You know his
banana,
name is
the
all
banana
over
cup. That was always a tough one. Tough to run a
can't
route
go
with one of
banana
those.
That was a chafer. All right, so we got Houston Texans at home. I want to say that the Houston Texans fan base doesn't travel as well. I've been saying that about a lot of teams that I've been wrong about. So I do expect to see plenty of Texans fans in the stands this week.
It's a young fan base.
Although I won't be there. You're watching the YouTube channel for First Amendment Sports right now. Do yourselves a favor. Please do us a favor. Be a free subscriber to our channel. We, as a team, will be at Catholic University calling 2 high school football championship games. 1 o'clock, Bishop O'Connell versus St. Mary's Riken. At 6 o'clock, Gonzaga College High School and St. John's College High School. It's going to be a...
DeMatha.
Sorry, what did I say?
DeMatha.
I said St.
Good
John's.
God, man.
DeMatha.
You're right. I was looking right at you.
I caught it.
Sorry.
You're not getting a Christmas card next year.
Exactly. Versus DeMatha. You're right. That was just like whatever.
Kev,
Hey,
point
and
your
also,
finger straight down right now. There's a subscribe button right below his finger. Click that button.
Nice. Yeah, click the button. It's
So,
free.
and if you want to check out our action, we called our first game this past weekend, a St. John's Gonzaga game, semifinal.
That's what I was reading.
Very
off
good.
of.
Go to firstamendmentsports.com. Check it out. Check out the replay. Did a great job, guys. You know, it was a lot of fun. I hope to do a lot more with you.
And
guys.
we love this stuff, man.
Yep.
And we do it together, and
It's
we
some
love
of these
it.
kids. Some of these kids could be future Redskins, and they're for sure future NFL.
They're going to be on the field on Sundays.
Yeah,
They
well,
are.
7 of them, 9 of them have been invited to go play at Alabama, which gives them all a 50-50 chance to wear the
not bad.
burgundy
If
and
you're
gold.
looking for future
to wear the
Redskin
burgundy and gold. Yes.
Alabama is starting to get all their players from right around here, and we got them broadcast
Hey,
live.
To be fair, when St. John's played DeMatha this season on the sidelines, DeMatha was asked for 4 passes from Coach Mike Loxley down at Alabama for the Alabama squadron.
The
So we
Alabama
had
Wall.
Cam Sims,
Allen.
Deron Payne,
Sims.
and this is before
Yeah.
HaHa got here. But yeah, I mean,
It's
seriously.
awesome. It's awesome.
Seriously, Anderson, Payne, Allen, and Cam Sims came to this high school football game to see 3 guys from both teams who have already committed to go play Roll Tide. And you know what's going to happen in 4 years. We'll be in this basement talking about those cats.
Yes,
Yep,
we
just
will.
like we're talking about Diggs and Rodney McLeod.
Kendall Fuller,
Yep.
unfortunately for
Yeah,
us.
unfortunately left us, but was one of us for a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
our league puts guys in the league. That's
Yep.
what happens. That's why we call this high school level the league, and we get to talk about both leagues, our favorite.
We'll be doing basketball. We'll be doing lacrosse. We'll be doing every sport there is on the high school side. We continue to do our Redskins coverage. We appreciate the Hogs Haven folks for having us. And we're going to bring some pretty cool guests lined up for our Redskins show in the next month and a half or so. We look forward to that, and we appreciate you guys giving us your Tuesday night or your commute in to work, or I don't know, if you're Darren McClinton, like 2.5 bags of gummy bears, and whatever you do when you eat 2.5 bags of gummy bears.
Yeah, when you
probably listen
drive
to
a
us.
rickshaw, you can burn those calories.
Hey, we appreciate everybody. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, he's Brian Stabby.
Excited to make this transition with you folks over to YouTube.
Yeah, we're
Live.
going to YouTube, man.
We picked up a little bit of steam there towards the end.
Good.
Tell your friends. You got to click the
Just
button.
click the little button
Point
there,
down again.
right
There you
by
go.
his whiskey.
Right down below. And yeah, let's. I'm looking forward to watching you guys do the games this weekend. That'll be fun.
He's Tim Strachan.
It's been great, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody tuning in every week. Welcome to YouTube.
Welcome to YouTube.
And we'll see you guys next week.
He's Kevin Ricka.
Hey, hail to the Redskins, 6-3, coming off all these injuries. The cavalry's coming back on offense. The defense is there. It's timing is everything. When it's time to get hot and roll into the playoffs, who knows? It might not just be the Vikings coming to town to get beat up. We might have to go over and take care of Sean McVay right afterwards.
Yeah, that's possible.
Just
I
saying.
like what you're talking. I like what you're saying
Just
there.
saying.
On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I am Ken Marangolo, and I am making a plea to all of you. If you have a business or a service that you want to promote on any of our shows, high school, college, or pro, the Audible, After the Whistle, Off Season on the Brink, let us know. Reach out to us, firstamendmentsports@gmail.com, and we would love to work with you.
The Hot Box.
The Hot Box is next, coming up in 5 or 6 minutes on this very channel. Once again, type those words in, hit free subscribe. We appreciate you. I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was The Audible.
Later, guys.